Okay, here's the guy that thinks taxation isn't theft because, well, you'll find out in his video. Here we go.
So you'll hear this argument from some conservatives, but mainly anarcho-capitalists, also known as Ancaps, and Libertarians.
Wow, just 6 seconds in, and he begins his video with a straw man argument with a picture. This is completely idiotic. I mean, it's a straw man argument. Ancaps don't want corporations to walk on them either. And also, corporations use government to walk over people. I mean, Monsanto had a bill signed by Obama to make them not be legally accountable for some stuff. Which J.P. Morgan Chase was bailed out in 2008. ExxonMobil received subsidies from the government. So, yeah, government allows these corporations to tread on us. We don't like that. We don't want anyone trading on us. So stop the straw manning. It's really irritating and misinforming.
The argument that taxation is theft, and oh boy do I wish that Ancaps and Libertarians would try moving to Somalia for a bit.
Oh god, the whiny, bitchy, why don't you move to Somalia argument. Somalia has government, and also, why should I have to move? It's my property. I shouldn't have to move. If anybody should move, it's the aggressors, not me. Not the innocent people just trying to live their lives and not hurt anyone. It's the damn government that should move anyone, not us.
But I'm here to talk about why taxation is not theft. So first of all, without the state, you have no property rights. There is no such thing as property rights.
What in Sam Hill is this moron talking about? You don't need the state for property rights. Is there property? Can you own it? Then, boom, property rights. If you want property, like if you go to unoccupied land, fence that shit up and claim it as your own. Come on now. Don't need this shit.
The state creates these property rights, and this is something that libertarians often stumble on. You ask them, hey, how would there be property rights without the government? And they have no answer, and they often stutter very much because they can't explain this.
We can explain this. I have explained this. You don't need the government for property rights. They didn't create the property. You did. You own it. You claim it. You fence it off as your own. You don't need the government. A nice job assuming the strength of your opponent.
So the state provides the landscape of property rights and everything in it, which means that everything that you do, you are including the state.
Yeah, you hear that, folks? The government allows you to own property, even though you can just own fucking property on your own. Does this guy know what he's talking about?
So when you sign a contract with your employer or your employee or whoever, everything is attached to the state because the state creates the whole landscape of property rights and everything that goes on in the state.
If you sign a contract with your employer/employees, that's between you and them. What are you talking about? Yeah, the land is within the state, but that's only because the state wrongfully assumes ownership of their property with things such as property tax. It's not theirs. It shouldn't be.
Now, also, you are receiving things in return. It is not theft if you are receiving things in return.
I don't care if I'm getting stuff in return. I didn't ask for any of this shit. So quit acting like, oh, it's not theft because they give you shit in return. Because if you didn't ask for it, and if the transaction isn't voluntary, it's still theft. I don't care what I get in return. If it's involuntary, it's theft.
You are funding the police department, the fire department, the military defense, social welfare, all kinds of different infrastructure, all kinds of different things.
Whoa. You don't think I could just fund these things on my own through the free market? You think I need violent coercion to fund this shit? Oh my god, you know nothing about the free market. Look, if there's a true demand for something, people will make it. If the government is forcing people to pay for it when there's no true demand for it, then you're just arbitrarily spending your money by force. I mean, come on now. People want it, people will make it. Duh.
Public roads, you can't tell me you don't use public roads. You can't tell me you didn't call the police, the firefighters. The military defense is something that you can't even choose to do. That's something that defends the country from, obviously being taken over.
I have used those services, but that's only because the government didn't give me a choice. The government didn't let there be any competition, so I had to use their services. They don't let me use other services, and they make me use theirs, so of course, I'm going to use their services. And you just admit that the military is funded by force to protect the country. Though, what about the military-industrial complex? That's not protecting the country. In fact, that's endangering the country. So much for the military only purely being there for the country's defense. So much for that.
Now, also, another thing is, you don't have to pay taxes. You can move to another country.
And the best thing this crackpot can come up with is that if you don't like it, leave argument. Duh. I already explained that I shouldn't have to fucking leave. It's my property. I earned it. Why aren't the oppressors leaving? And since you support the oppressors, why aren't you leaving? I mean, come on. If I shouldn't have to leave just because I don't want to be oppressed. You're being stupid. Saying, oh, if you don't like government oppression, move somewhere else. I shouldn't have to. It's that simple.
Now, if you've been in the country and you've received all those goods that the government has given you, then yes, you have to pay taxes or you're going to have to get a punishment.
I only received those wonderful goodies from the government because they forced them on me. They just dumped them on me. They dumped on me and said, oh, here's some services. Here's the bill with them also. Pay it. And you even admit that, oh, there's a punishment for not paying it. So you do admit taxation is done by force. And yet, it's okay to you because, oh, you get stuff that you didn't even ask for. Go figure.
Because otherwise people wouldn't pay taxes.
People could just pay for the services voluntarily if they really want them. Without coercion, without taxes. Ever thought of that?
So, you don't have to pay them. You don't want to pay them? Go ahead, move to another country. Just go ahead, move to another country.
I can't just move to another country, dumbass. I have to think of food, a job, transportation, the language, family, friends. It's not easy. And how come you statists like to tell people to move so freaking often? You guys like saying that. If you don't like it, leave. You statists really like saying that. I don't get it. It means, how about this? How about you guys leave instead, since you guys hate freedom so much? Since you guys hate people keeping their own money, owning guns, being able to put what they want in their bodies, since you guys hate that so much, why don't you move?
Maybe I suggest a libertarian, utopia, Somalia.
And once again, this guy manages to pull Somalia out of his ass because reasons. Explain it's not an anarchy, it's not a utopia, yet he still pulls it out of his ass. Yeah. Congratulations.
Go ahead, move there, check it out, see how it is, let me know how it goes for you.
What's with these assholes in Somalia anyway? It's one country, war-torn, poor, oppressive, and yet, oh wow, they say, oh wow, that's libertarianism, that's anarchy, that's minarchy. Let's use that argument against them, even though we know shit about the country. Yeah, that's a good argument. Seriously, why are they so damn obsessed with this place? Is it the people, the culture, the food? I don't know.
But the idea that taxation is theft is utterly laughable and honestly quite sad.
The only thing that's sad is you statists clinging to the idea that you're entitled to other people's property, and that you're entitled to other people's property through force, government force, the god of the state. That's what's sad. It's sad that you're ignorant, you don't understand, you're stupid. I mean, you guys don't want to learn. I don't know. I mean, you guys just don't want to learn. You're indoctrinated. You don't care. You don't know any better or want to know better. I just don't know. But whatever. It's the end. It's the end of the video. I mean, God.